Lorcana is approaching its 3rd year anniversary, and while there are some ways to play online that shall remain nameless, we still haven't heard about a digital client of any kind, or whether Ravensburger even has someone developing it outside of some rumors from a few years ago. So today, I want to revisit the topic of Lorcana getting some kind of digital client down the road, and why I think the game actually kind of needs it at this point in its life. But before we get into it, I want to remind everyone to please like this video and subscribe to the Sorcerer's Hat for more Disney Lorcana content. I post brand new videos every Friday. Alright, let's talk about a digital client again. When I started this channel 2 years ago, my first video ever was about a possible digital client for Lorcana. While we have ways to play online currently that are not officially supported, we still haven't heard anything from Ravensburger regarding a digital client, but I think it's about time that we did. Lorcana is about to be 3 years old, going on its 4th year as a game, and it's safe to say that lots of the hype has died down. Now, that's not me saying that the game is dying or anything. Lorcana is doing fine. But it's something that every new game goes through. People get very excited when a new thing launches, and then eventually life happens. People get bored and stop, or they just don't like a certain meta and they take a break, what have you. There's so many reasons people stop playing a specific game, and one of those reasons is that sometimes you just simply don't have anyone to play with. I was watching a video recently about a miniature war game, and they said something really interesting that sort of can apply to Lorcana, or honestly any other TCG as well. They said, it could be the most successful game in the world with millions of players, but if nobody in your area is playing, it doesn't really matter to you at all. It goes the other way as well. The game could be really not that popular at all, maybe a few thousand players globally, but if you have dozens of people around you regularly showing up to your LGS to play, you would not really care about, how many people are actually playing the game globally, because you have a dedicated community around you and you're just playing all the time. I think Lorcana kind of fits into the first category for a lot of people. I'm lucky to live in an area with lots of card game players and a very robust and active Lorcana community with regular tournaments, meetups, and events, but I know that there are a fair amount of people in this community that do not have that. Maybe they live in a rural area where there aren't a lot of game stores, or the game stores they do have are very far away, and they only really get to play when they travel for like a DLC or a set champs, or they just play on the kitchen table with family. There's a lot of different people that play this game. There are some people that just didn't even start playing the game at all because they really have no one in their area to play with. And so to that end, I think it's probably about time we got a digital client to bring more people into the game. Pretty much all of the other big card games on the market, besides things like Riftbound and One Piece, have a digital client. There's an argument I hear quite often that a digital client would stop people from buying physical cards or show up to local events to play in paper, but I don't think that's actually true. Sure, there are some players that probably would only play online, whether it's just because they have nobody to play with in their area, or they would just rather experience their game that way, but I think that's a lot smaller of a group than people realize. In fact, before I quit Magic years ago, I was playing Magic when Magic Arena was a thing, and everybody I played with locally also played Magic Arena, but we also still played the paper game. And there were still lots of people showing up to drafts and Friday Night Magic events and pre-release while those two things existed. If anything, the digital game only grew the audience because it made people more interested in playing the physical game, or it introduced them to things like Commander, and it just kind of acted as a way to get people into the ecosystem, but also as an alternative way to just experience the game. I think Lorcana could have the same effect. We already have an established and passionate fan base who loves this community and this game, but I think it's about time that we started getting new folks to come in. And being able to have something officially supported that's accessible for the random person to try on their phone or on their computer just would make a world of difference. And just like I mentioned in the first video I ever made on this channel, I think putting digital booster pack codes inside the physical packs would be nice as well, and add a lot more value to the pack buying experience for entrenched players like myself. And probably for viewers like you. While you have heard literally nothing about a client, I do think it's only a matter of time before we actually get one. As someone who works in the game industry, I know that you can't just churn these things out overnight. It takes a lot of work, And any client would also have to go through Disney approvals, which is going to add a lot more time as well. But if I had to guess, I would think that in the next year or so, we might hear about a client and possibly a beta, but that's under the assumption that when the game came out, they started talking to developers somewhere about developing a client at some point. So they would have to have a lot of lead time for this to have happened. So, you know, we'll see. But if that did happen, then I think it is possible that in the next year, maybe year and a half, we do finally hear about a digital client. But I don't know anything. I know as much as you do. I'm basically just guessing and using what I know about the industry to make kind of an educated guess. But hopefully it is a priority for Ravensburger at this point, because I think the game kind of needs it. Let me know in the comments how you would feel about a digital client for Lorcana. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe to the Sorcerer's Hat for more Lorcana videos. I post a new one every single Friday. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye. Love you.